Please be advised, the following material is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. This report contains the exact federal courtroom testimony from the Sean Diddy Combs trial as documented by Inner City Press. In a courtroom packed with tension and eyes watching every movement, the walls of protection around one of the most powerful men in music finally began to crack. What unfolded wasn't just courtroom drama. It was a revelation so powerful, so explosive, that the judge herself made an unprecedented move. Sean Diddy Combs, once untouchable in the entertainment world, sat in stunned silence as his lead defense attorney, Mark Agnifo, was ordered to leave the courtroom immediately. Everything changed the moment a previously undisclosed audio recording was played. The prosecution, led by Assistant U.S. Attorney Jessica Roberts, introduced it with calm confidence. It was a moment no one expected. Diddy's expression, usually unreadable, turned sharply serious. His fingers clenched the edges of the table. His lawyer, Agnifo, stood up, objecting, arguing this evidence was prejudicial and not part of discovery. But Judge Alyssa Saunders had already made her mind. The jury, she declared, had a right to hear it. And then it began. The voice in the recording was unmistakable, Mark Agnifo himself, calm at first, then revealing. He spoke of strategies not just aggressive, but criminal. He spoke of discrediting a witness named Vasquez, calling her a problem. He suggested using a private investigator to dig into her past. He discussed using therapy records, medication histories, anything that could be twisted to make her seem unstable. And then came Diddy's voice. He agreed. He pushed further. He wanted the job done, no matter how. He asked about deleting text messages, hiding evidence, manipulating files from a storage facility. Agnifo responded without hesitation. He had a contact who could make things disappear. Standard procedure, he said. Judge Saunders listened in silence. When the recording ended, the courtroom was frozen in disbelief. Several jurors stared at Agnifo in horror. The judge's voice, steady as steel, broke the silence. She addressed Agnifo directly, questioning how this could be justified. He tried to argue the audio violated attorney-client privilege, but the prosecution was ready, invoking the crime-fraud exception, stating this was no longer about privilege. It was about ongoing criminal conduct. That was all the judge needed. She ruled the evidence admissible. She removed Agnifo from the case. She ordered him escorted from the courtroom. The once confident defense attorney shuffled out, not as a man fighting for justice, but as a man caught in a conspiracy that had now unraveled. Diddy, meanwhile, sat unmoving. His empire, built over decades, was collapsing in real time. He whispered to his remaining attorneys. His face, once confident and commanding, now looked lost. But this was just the beginning. The next day, the prosecution revealed even more. Rachel Kim, a junior attorney who once worked under Agnifo, took the stand. Her voice was steady. She confirmed her voice on the recording. She explained why she recorded it, because what she was witnessing wasn't legal defense. It was corruption, witness tampering, manipulation, a culture of fear. She had gone through proper channels, she said. She had raised her concerns, been ignored, threatened, and finally pushed out. And then she made the hardest decision of her life, to speak the truth, knowing it might cost her everything. She testified that she had been offered bonuses to remain silent, that she had been warned what would happen if she spoke up. But she couldn't ignore what was being planned. The recordings proved it. They showed Diddy and Agnifo discussing ways to manipulate evidence, destroy reputations, and silence voices. Defense attorney Patricia Morrison, now leading Diddy's defense, tried to discredit her. She claimed Kim had motives, that she was angry over being sidelined. But Kim stood firm. She wasn't seeking revenge. She was seeking justice. And the judge agreed. Then came the final blow. Prosecutor Roberts introduced yet another recording, this time taken from Diddy's own office by his security system. It captured a conversation between Diddy and Agnifo just weeks before. They discussed pressuring a witness named Thompson. They talked about making examples. They spoke of legal intimidation and manipulating courtroom perception. And the judge had heard enough. She ordered Diddy remanded into custody immediately, bail revoked. U.S. Marshals approached. For a moment, Diddy looked like he might resist. But then, for the first time, his shoulders dropped. The fight was draining from him. As he was let out, he gave a final statement. "The system failed me." But outside the courtroom, many believed otherwise. Crowds had gathered. Former employees, media, supporters of the victims. As word spread of Diddy's remand and the recordings, reactions poured in. Jessica Roberts emerged, calm and composed. She stated what many were thinking. No one is above the law. Money, fame, and influence may buy time, but not immunity. And justice had just begun to speak. Inside the legal world, the case became a lightning bolt. Law schools debated it. Bar associations issued statements. Agnifo was already facing disbarment and likely criminal charges. His law firm erased his name. His future was shattered. But more importantly, something bigger had started. The silence was breaking. Former assistants, music producers, and employees came forward. Stories poured out about intimidation, surveillance, threats. NDAs so restrictive they couldn't even admit they had signed them. One woman, Jasmine Taylor, stood outside the courthouse. She held up her ID badge from her first day working at Bad Boy Records. She told her story. She said she was proud that day, proud to be part of something big. But she didn't know she was stepping into a system designed to silence. Now, she said, that silence was ending, and the world was listening. Streaming services began pulling Diddy's music from their featured lists. Former business partners went quiet. The entertainment industry was forced to confront a reality long hidden, that power, unchecked, becomes dangerous. Victims from other industries found the courage to speak too. The hashtag system of silence began trending. People shared their stories, and slowly the old ways began to fall. This wasn't just about one man. It was about a system. And now that system was being dismantled, one truth at a time. As the trial continues next week, one thing is clear. When Judge Saunders removed Agnifo from the courtroom, the tide shifted. It was the moment justice took a stand against privilege, and the moment the truth began to break through the lies.